Hello everyone. Today I want to get into my Zergin Sorc builds. I've been running my racial lives and this is my last one, so I've completed them. Which I'm happy about because I was getting pretty sick and tired of running the same quest after each other, life after life, but we managed to knock them out pretty fast by using this sorceress build. Especially with the thiefling combination, it's the easiest leveling experience I've had. So without no further ado, let's get into the build. And I'll show you what I have done with it. Let me just set some things up here. There we go. So this is my Thiefling. It's level 20. I accidentally got a Barbarian level because I used the Q and E and accidentally was talking to the Barbarian while standing in front of the Sorceress. Level up dude, which is something that happens when you are in a hurry, leveling up, getting to the next quest. I run together with a guildie and we do a live from 1 to level 20 in about 11 quest hours. So 2 6-hour pots would be suffice. This last live I've been running on a 20% pot because I'm all out of 50% ones. But still it was really fast. It's a straight up 20 levels of sorcerer build. Accidentally the barbarian, so I've got some more speed, but you rather take sorcerer levels because you want to have the good spells as fast as possible. Now, I'll get into the ability points here. For a Thiefling, it's pretty much going into the electric tree and then combine it with this little thing here that uses your electric spell power for your fire spell power. That means you can easily use electric spells and fire spells without any problem, and you only have to gear up for one of the other or the other. Next to that, we always take about level 7 when we hit the fire caves and Free Barrel Cove. We get our Falconer sprint boost, which is this one. It takes 8 points to get this, which really speeds up the leveling process. In combination with the Purple Dragon Knight's Rallying Cry. You can use them after each other. If you first use the Rallying Cry, the sprint boost can be used a few seconds after that, and they stack up and you really get fast. Also at level 12 you will get your Wind Dance from the Air Savant tree, which makes this build really fast through the quests. Especially if you know where to go, you'll be there in just a few seconds. If you want to see how fast this runs, you can check out the other video of the level 12 Ravenloft questing. There you can see the efficiency of this build, because you're doing a lot of AoE damage, which clears rooms in just 1 or 2 spells, together with fast running speed. For the feats I took, of course, at the start, you get as much charisma and constitution as you can. So you max out your charisma and try to get as much constitution as you can. If you have anything left, you can put it into strength so you don't get encumbered as fast. But if you got enough strength from tomes and stuff like that, you could get intelligence for your skill points, which is pretty useful too. The feats I usually take, I don't bother getting empowered or maximize spell and stuff like that, because as a sorcerer your cooldown time is pretty short. and you can just spam one spell easily. You don't need it to be very expensive for a bit more damage, as you can just cast it twice, which is double the damage for a lot less spell points. And usually, if you run Reaper 1, what I've been doing, the damage is sufficient enough to kill things really fast. Then I usually, as I don't need a lot of empowered spell and stuff like that, I start off with the mental toughness to get some extra spell points so I don't run out of them, and it gives 1% crit chance to all spells. Then I get the improved mental toughness, which does the same, so it doubles the things up, which gets you to a nice spell point pool to get through the quest without resting too much, because that breaks down your time, your running time. In this case, at a later stage, I went for the necromancy stuff for the instant kills and Will of the Banshee, which I hardly use at all, because the lightning bolts and the chain lightning and the fireballs will kill anything. So that's fast enough. Let's see, what did I get this time? Survivability becomes a point when you are just running through everything and want to kill everything and pull everything behind you. So I take toughness just for fun. I don't really need it, as my health is pretty high already with gear and past lives. And well, that's about it. The rest is up to you. If you're having trouble with the mobs saving your spells, you can think about going evocation and get yourself some improved evocation feats instead of the necromancy, for example. So evocation, spell focus. While leveling at level 6, it's important to get your fireball. Of course, level 4 gives you Scorch, which is a very powerful attack. It's even more powerful if you have a Tiefling race, because you can get your improved Scorch, which will render any mob vulnerable to fire. So anything that is immune to fire won't be after you hit them with a Scorch. I've tried a few mobs that are known for their immuneness, and they all went down after I scorched them. And you can just fireball them and scorch fireball and just spam them with that. They'll be dead in seconds. So at level 6 you'll get your fireball, which is your first great AoE spell, which is very useful, and you'll be using it until level 10. Once you get the chance to get Dimension Door, pick it up, because if you are running to the end of a quest, you kill the boss, don't mind the trash mobs that are around him, pop the Dimension Door and get out of there upon completion, which is very useful. Then at level 10 you'll get Ball Lightning. Well, this spell is a lot more effective than the Fireball. It has a bigger range and a higher damage. So level 10 is the point where you also get your Ravenloft gear, and it's the point where where I always switch. So at the start, I invest in my Thiefling tree if I'm Thiefling, to get to the Scorch and improved Scorch. I usually just put 1 point in the Ash, because I don't really use it, because it's a very slow casting. And the normal Scorch is much faster, so just spam that one. But you need 1 point to get to the improved Scorch, which will also enable your normal Scorch spell with the immunity bypass. So you get your Fire Tree, and just invest till level 10 in the Fire Tree to get that damage up. At level 10 you get your Ravenloft gear, and you switch to your Air Savant, and get it all the way up to the top. Primarily focusing on more crit range, and don't mind the other spells and slash, because you won't be using them at all. Get the Wind Dance, this one, and get the Awaken Elemental Weakness Electric, which makes mobs that are immune to electric vulnerable to electric. Well, with your Scourge, you usually go for that route and make them vulnerable to fire. But for example, if you come across bosses that are immune to electric, like the Wizard King is a great example. He's hard to kill for a spellcaster. If you hit him with an Awakening Elemental Weakness and then just throw your electric spells, like the Ball Lightning or the Chain Lightning, he will be dead in a few seconds. So that makes the quest very, very easy. So at level 10, switch them up, go into this tree. Because I'm a Thiefling and I don't have to invest in the Fire tree and the Electric tree, because of the synergy with Fire and Electric that I took here, I don't invest in the Fire tree after that. If you don't are a Thiefling, if you aren't a Thiefling, you can opt to get the Electric tree all the way up and then put the rest of the points in the Fire Savant trees. Of course, after you get your sprint here. Because I'm a Thiefling this life, I have a lot of points left over, because I don't have to invest in the Fire tree, because it is synergizing with my electric damage. That's why I took the Eldritch Knight and get some more defense buffs, and also the extra boost for spell power, which give me 2 boosts from the Reaper tree and 1 from the action boost from the Eldritch Knight. Then I took a few more points and get the extra 5% hit points from the Falconry tree. And that's about it. So you just run through your Chain Lightning, Fireballs, Delayed Fireballs, which you get at level 14, and your Ball Lightning. And once in a while, put in a Scourge if things are immune. And that's how you run through quests. It's pretty easy. You can check out the video if you want to see how that works and what numbers I get. It's the Chain Lightning and the Ball Lightning at level 14 and 15. They just hit for above 2k, so 2000 points. To everything in the room, pretty much. So if you pull the whole quests after you and you turn around and you just hit them with the Fireball and the Ball Lightning and the Chain Lightning, pretty much everything will be dead. Maybe a few will still run around. You can get them with the next spell. So it's pretty easy if you know how to survive. So don't stand still on your Sorc when you are pulling a lot of mobs, because they will be able to hit you. But with your sprint boost and the Rallying Cry and the Wind Dance, which I have under my mouse button, you can easily evade all mobs and kill them off. You can just strafe and run around. Now, let's see what kind of gear I use. Till level 10, you can just use your normal run-in-the-mill gear. You can farm out some fire gear, but I just use what I find and use it for the next lives too, until I find something better. Then I switch it out. So at level 10 you can get into your Ravenloft gear, which is always a good point in your leveling process, because you go from pretty good to just overpowered pretty fast. And I have a few things that will account for my electric spell damage. We got Garstone lenses, which give me a 77 equipment bonus to electric spell power, and some healing extra, which is nice. So that's the equipment bonus. Then we use the Thrommond Spark Cord, which gives an enhancement bonus of 77, which stack with each other. So that's, what is it, 145, 54, 154 electric spell power. And then there is this Bolt Sphere, which gives me another 77 equipment, which doesn't stack, but the, let's see, where is it? The magnetism of 38 does. So that's get calculated on top of that, which also gives me the opportunity to put the Macabre Spectre in my other hands for evocation DCs and other spell DCs with the Spell Focus Mastery. After that I have some, well, more or less survivability gear. Of course I have the beacon set, the Beacon of Magic set, that gives 20 universal spell power, spell DCs and some magical resistance. And I try to maintain the, where is it? The mist set. It's now broken because I have too much other gear. And I switch out HP items mostly. So I have a little green steel thing here with the health buffs. I have this helmet from the quarantine with some constitution that I switch out for this ring that I crafted with sheltering and insightful constitution. And I have this trinket made with charisma and insightful charisma. It's a bit all over the place because I switch out my crafting gear a lot, because I don't want to craft anything for my normal lives. So this is a bit more versatile between my characters. Of course the Fleetfoot Greaves, so I don't get stuck anywhere with a featherfall thingy on it. Let's see what we got here. The potency item for the mystic wrappings, and of course for the beacon sets, the Barovian Nobles Regalia. So that's a little peek under the hood of this sorcerer. I hope you like it. I hope you find it useful. I won't be running this build for a while now, because I'm done with the TR train. I will be going on into my endgame build that I've been tinkering with and see if it works out. So, thanks for watching. I'll just show you the speed this can reach. So you hit the rallying cry, you hit the sprint boost, which makes you already pretty fast, and then you can combine it with your wind dance that recharges automatically, which makes you pretty freaking fast, and also makes you able to get onto that little latches and jump over things that normally have to be run around with. Have to be run around. I think that stops there. So, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to check out my other videos and the video of my Zergin Sorc in the Raven Lofts. Hope you tune in again. If you have any questions or remarks, just put them into the description or the comments below on the YouTube channel. If you're watching this on Twitch, I don't think there's a comment box, but hit me up in the chat room next time that I'm live and ask your questions. So have a good day, happy hunting, and see you in game. Bye bye.